The whole idea of these 10 days of Hajj, the whole purpose of them is for you to remember Allah frequently. So if you're not going to Hajj, what should you do sitting here? You should remember Allah. And what is the most important words to say to remember Allah in these 10 days that the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to do and his Sahaba? One specific one, Uncle said it, at-takbir. So you have to make an ambitious goal. Every day, I will make 1,000 takbirat every day. Not 100, not 200, 1,000. Because you are the people of the masjid. Hajj is the time of sacrifice. When you say Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, what does that mean about everything else? They become small. So all the stress you have in your mind, all your bills, energy bills, cost of living, it becomes something small. First thing we said in the 10th of Dhul Hijjah is the dhikr of Allah, especially the takbir. On the day of Arafah, the day of dua, the first rule I'm going to advise all of you, make dua in your own language. What language did Ibrahim a.s. use to make dua to Allah? Ibrahim a.s. didn't speak a letter of Arabic. He spoke Aramaic. Did Musa a.s. speak Arabic? He didn't speak Arabic. He spoke Aramaic. Did Isa a.s. speak Arabic? He spoke Akkadian. And they were still making dua to Allah, right? And their dua was still accepted, right? We don't need to make dua in Arabic. Allah understands every language. When you ask Allah in your language, what's the difference going to be? If you ask Allah in a language that's foreign to you versus asking Allah in your native language, what's the difference going to be? Dua is going to come from the bottom of your heart. So when you speak to Allah, speak to Him in your language. This is the sunnah of all the prophets. Speak to Allah in your language. In Urdu, in Bangla, in Sylheti, in Tamil, in English, in Cockney, Scottish, Liverpool accent, doesn't matter. Allah understands it all. Speak to Allah from your heart. This is the most important thing, is the dua. For it to be accepted, it has to come from the bottom of your heart. And when you ask Allah, we have to remember the legacy of Ibrahim a.s. How did Ibrahim a.s. make dua? Remember when Ibrahim a.s. left his family in the middle of the desert, what did he ask Allah? رَبِّ إِنِّي أَسْكَنْتُ مِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي بِوَادٍ غَيْرِ ذِي زَرْعٍ عِنْدَ بَيْتِكَ الْمُحَرَّمِ. Oh Allah, I left my family in a place with nothing next to your future house. Now if you left your family in the desert, what would you first ask Allah for? If you left your wife and children in the middle of the desert, what would you ask Allah for? Sorry? Protection. And what else would you ask Allah for? Food, water, survival basically, right? See what does Ibrahim a.s. ask Allah for? This is the best lesson. رَبَّنَا لِيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةِ. Oh Allah, make them people who pray salah. فَجَعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِّنَ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِمْ. And make people love them and want to come and live next to them. Community. وَرْزُقَهُم مِّنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَشْكُرُونَ. He asked Allah for salah, then for community, then third place, bronze medal, he asks Allah, oh Allah, give them food and drink. See the priorities of Ibrahim a.s. When we make dua to Allah, we tend to ask Allah, oh Allah, my exam, my promotion, my rizq. We ask Allah for this dunya. The first thing we should ask Allah is for the things that impact our akhirah. And then you ask Allah for the things in this dunya. This is the lesson for Ibrahim. Keep the priorities in check. So when Allah says, من كان يريد حرث الآخرة نزد له في حرثه. Whoever wants what the afterlife has, we will give him more in this dunya. ومن كان يريد حرث الدنيا نؤته منها وما له في الآخرة من نصيب. And if you just want this dunya, we will give it to you and you'll have nothing in the afterlife. Make dua for your children. That's what Ibrahim a.s. He's not just asking Allah for himself. He's asking Allah, make my children people who pray salah. Make dua for your grandchildren. Even if you don't see them, they're not alive, make dua for them. Because you and me, we have very limited ability. But Allah is the one who guides. So make dua for the afterlife, make dua in your own language, and pour your heart out to Allah on the day of Arafah. Choose something in these 10 days that you're going to sacrifice for the sake of Allah. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to sacrifice, not my son. I'm going to sacrifice my smartphone. Before Isha time today, this SIM card is going in a Nokia flip phone for 10 days. Because this is the thing that takes most of my time and your time away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is going, my qurbani. What's your qurbani? Tell me, what's your qurbani going to be in these 10 days? What are you going to sacrifice other than goat? Yes? What in your life are you going to sacrifice in these 10 days? The path to becoming close to Allah and becoming from the awliya is qurbani. You have to sacrifice something. you will never reach righteousness until you spend from the things that you love. So you have to tell me, what do you love the most in this dunya? Is it money? Give £1,000 for Allah this Dhul Hijjah. Is it your time? You don't want to give your time to anyone? You're going to do i'tikaf in the masjid for one day. One day you're just going to give to Allah in the masjid. What do you love the most? You give it for the sake of Allah. This will push you to new heights in your closeness to Allah. Because how did Allah test Ibrahim alayhi salam? Tell me, Allah could have asked Ibrahim alayhi salam to take his own life. But is that the most beloved thing to Ibrahim? He can take his own life, no problem. But what is more beloved to him? The life of his son. Why? What is special about Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son? Who can tell me? Why does Ibrahim alayhi salam have a special love for his children more than any of us here today? Yes. How old, roughly, do anybody know how old was Ibrahim alayhi salam when he had his first child? In his 90s. Imagine you have to wait till age 90 to have a child. How much you're going to love this child? Yes? Because Ibrahim alayhi salam waited. Imagine this situation. This happens today. A woman becomes pregnant. She waits 8.5 months to see the face of this child. And then the child dies in the womb. She has a miscarriage. How upset is this lady? It will take her years to recover from this death. Because she waited. Allah took him away. Ibrahim alayhi salam waited 100 years to see the face of this child. He sees the face of this child. The child grows up. Just before he's a man, Allah says, finish, time up. This is such a huge test. But Ibrahim alayhi salam straight away says, إِذْ قَالَ لَهُ أَسْلِمْ قَالَ أَسْلَمْتُ. Oh Allah, you order, I follow. There's no question. This is where we need to reach. Do some sacrifice in these 10 days. The thing you love the most, you waited for the most, try sacrifice for the sake of Allah. And see what you will achieve